Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel, Lunatic Plays. I'm the lunatic who plays these games, City Skylines. We're back. Did you miss me? I missed you. Hi. We are back in another episode 6 of our adventure through building this city that yet has no name. This was automatically generated. I don't identify with this name. But yeah, as I'm waiting for you guys to offer name suggestions, like I'm sure once we start building downtown, the name is gonna come around. It's gonna be somewhere here, and it is coming. It's not coming today. So I kind of like, as we are expanding, we've built a big bulk of our town. We've got our main kind of town, water-facing town, Brightwater, and we've got our Greenwood Glen down here. We got some low residential estates in Hamilton Glade, the Birdsong Heights, all that. And then we've got our Soviet era high density residential estates over here, with pretty good connections to Brightwater. Traffic tends to pop up here and there. We've got our hospital, we've got vital services. Everything kind of functions. We are losing money, but sometimes we get money, sometimes we lose them. If we go bankrupt, I'll turn it off. So yeah, we're here, and today's episode is a little bit of like it's more like a maintenance episode, and I was meaning to do it because I started here with the Concord Street. A, I want to start like naming streets. That's one thing I want to do, but B, I started detailing the street here, and I really like it. And I had a sneaky plan to fix up my roads, road markings, add custom markings, add things like water wells, like, you know, these little crates where rainwater goes in, and potholes and that kind of thing. So I want to add all that detailing. So we're doing like a huge road and detailing revamp alongside of a couple of fixes to Brightwater itself, because as I said before, I kind of discovered the joy of building a really nice British looking town here in Greenwood Glen. I had the luxury of having a flat terrain, but I'd like to take those skills and the use of these kind of ghost buildings, like these ones. They're not functional buildings, they're just like the static floppables, and I want to revamp a couple of blocks in Brightwater. So I think I might like jump into here to do that. I want to definitely get rid of these row homes. I added them because they stack really nicely on a hill, and we have pretty steep terrain here. So you know, there could be a lot of reshaping in Brightwater itself. I just want to make it nicer. It was my kind of like first step into City Skylines after a long break, so I was still remembering all the tools and everything. But overall, I've got a couple of new mods, like the Control CL or L1C, Control 1C. Yeah, this thing. So Imperator use it, and I like that, so I'm gonna use it as well. He's my idol. And yeah, I might terrace a couple of these height differences. I might change some road layouts. I might revamp a lot. I might revamp a little bit. We'll see. Let me just get into it. I just want to make it a little bit nicer, a little bit more believable. I'm just not 100% that satisfied with how it looks like, and I feel like I've gotten a good return on investment of my time here, where I tried to design this town a couple different ways, and eventually I was very, very, very happy with the way I designed this one. So I want to do the same thing here. So bear with me, we're gonna figure something out. It might take us to unexpected places, it might not. But yeah, just bear with me. We're gonna do something amazing, I'm sure. And if we have enough time, we will be thinking about those railways. I know I've mentioned that in the previous episode, but since I will be revamping Brightwater a little bit, then I can kind of plan for a train station, and we've already spent those points, didn't we? Yeah. Okay, and we are making money. Okay, every now and again we lose a little bit of money, but then we're gaining it. overall we're on an upwards trend, I think. So we should be fine. I might pause the game. I might let it run. I'm gonna monitor the money. Like if I notice that we are losing a lot of money, I'll pause it and we'll deal with the fallout later. But yeah, we're doing a little bit of a revamp. This is a maintenance episode. I think we've built so much. We need to just like take care of what we have. I want to add a lot of road markings, so that's gonna happen first. I think I'm gonna well, I do like those. I know that they are American assets, but to be honest, like we have a lot of assets. We have a lot of buildings like this in Ireland and in the UK, from what I've seen. I just want to do a little bit differently here, like especially these. Like I think this is very upsetting to me. This solution for these roads. I think I need to do better. So these row homes on these key streets here they're going away. We're getting rid of those. We're gonna come up with something a little bit better. So yeah, that's the plan. I think without further ado, there's nothing else to do but to take it away. Let's start with the roads. Let's clear up the buildings, make some space, and we'll revisit once we're done.
Okay, here we are. We've edited a couple of roads. The road builder tool was very, very, very handy in this one. I've added road markings, like you see here. I added these yellow lines to the sides of the road. So I live in Ireland, and we definitely have those. Generally, there's a double line in places where you're not supposed to park, but it's like a double yellow line. But I feel like this is so stark in color, I just decided for a singular line. So this is the one that I've made, and I think it looks really nice. Like I think that the yellow lines are part of the American roads pack, but I definitely seen them in Ireland, and I think I've seen them in the UK as well. So I go with what I know. So this is what I did. I added a couple of boxes, like here. I added like this little turning lane. I added all the streets. I added bus lanes on the bus stops in the British parts of the town, because I didn't want to like make the roads too wide, because obviously like that's not really like an Irish or British way. There's not that many wide roads, especially in areas like here that I imagine is more rural. So yeah, but I edited everything from like Coolridge Mills, Birdsong Heights, Birdsong Lane, and then all the way around here in our Soviet era blocks, where we departed from the British architectural style. And I did actually widen up some of the roads and move things around. I still have a bit of detailing to do here and there, but I just kind of wanted to move on and add the final bits of detailing at the very end. So yeah, I changed these streets. I added these boxes. I'm going with the markings of the road, the ones I'm most familiar with. So again, I live in Ireland, so that's what I'm going off of. And I added bus lanes, because obviously here is going to be our bus route that's going to be going to Brightwater, so I knew that the buses are going to be frequenting these lanes, so I figured why not widen up the road. It looks like this. I narrowed the path, the pedestrian paths a little bit, but I don't think that it's a big deal. I just didn't want the roads to appear too grand, because I just didn't feel like it fitted, and also like I've built so much already that maybe in some places it would be a tight fit, and it certainly kind of was in areas like this one. So I removed the path, the pedestrian path from one side of the road, so it's just like path on one side of the road, which you definitely would have areas like that, and I like to introduce a little bit of that irregularity in the way that the road network is laid out. So it continues all the way here, and then we have like little path island where the bus stop is. And I've definitely seen many roads like that in Poland, where I'm taking the influence from. So I think that it just looks more interesting because there's this like irregularity introduced to it. Again, I added the markings. On this side of the road there is no markings, because the markings, I think they stick to the terrain. So because this is a retaining wall, they wouldn't just stick to the road, so I just didn't put it in. It's just what we have to deal with. I added this road, removed the paths from it, because I have like a path going alongside here, and I have a pedestrian bridge over here just to help with some of the traffic, because all the people that were crossing this road were sort of jamming all the cars that wanted to go out into the highway. And here we have the continuation of the road. Again, it was a bit of a tight squeeze here, so I removed one side of the pedestrian path, added the bus lanes. It carries on. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do with like the bus stops on the route coming back. Obviously, for the time being, I removed the bus routes that we have. I'm gonna relay them down once I'm ready. Here I figured out this kind of solution. I hate this road. Like, why are these cars parking here like that? Oh, anyways, I'll deal with it. But I added the bus stops here in this little commercial estate / parking lot place that we've got. So this way we don't have to rely on like the pedestrian path being on both sides of the road, because people can just take the bus here, and the bus going on either way will just have to kind of like come in here, leave that way, either way, wherever it's going. So yeah, that's what I did. A little bit of improvement, a little bit of maintenance. I added a road maintenance depot here. It's probably not gonna stay here. I just added it because I realized that the roads were very worn out. So I just wanted to let that work away while I was improving things. And now to move over to our revamp of the Brightwater. So I was kind of like unhappy with it. I just didn't know how to tackle it, and I still don't have a clear idea. But what I know is that I want to definitely keep the waterfront, so that's the one area I really like. The harbor is staying, there's like everything south of the Briar Rose Street stays. What I want to change is these little bits and pieces. Like, I want to remove these classic European row homes because I just don't feel like they fit in so well with the British theme. I placed them down because they kind of slope really well, being 1 unit wide. So yeah, that was kind of my thinking, but I don't like it. Like, the more I look at it, the more I don't like it. So I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna probably get rid of a lot of these green spaces in the backs of the homes. So probably like everything in the block around here all the way to here, and probably these parts as well. I'm gonna rehab them a little bit. Are gonna go, and then places where I'm just not very happy with the way that the retaining walls or the key walls, whatever they're called, are set up. I think I'm gonna come up with different solutions. I'm probably gonna change the road layout a little bit. I don't know if I'm gonna have like these direct slopes, like roads going up. So things are gonna change. I definitely want to keep the Ivy Glade. I really like this kind of rough looking estate here. I might revamp a little bit this park area. I'll play with the terrain tool. I'll play with the new tools I kind of discovered, and see what we can come up with. But we're probably gonna do like a major revamp of this town. It's just like, I just wanted to fit it. Like, I just wanted to fit my vision, and it was my first build after many months of not playing City Skylines. So I forgive myself for making mistakes, but it's time to clean it up. So let's go.
And here we are, Intermittent Luna, real quick. I just wanted to pop in and update you guys on all the changes that are happening because I've deleted most of Brightwater. Yay! I told you guys I was unhappy with things, and then like I started deleting, and a vision started to form, and I'm slowly working away. But I wanted to jump in here. The building brought me to this little spot where we had like a little shopping center. I was using these American assets because like they could be in Britain. Like I can see these type of buildings on a British main street. So I got them, but I started experimenting more and more with props, and I've created this little mall, like this little a shopping alley roofed with the with the greenhouse. And I wanted to come in just to kind of show you guys this specific part because I just think that it's really, really nice, and it's one of those like moments where I think I've gained a new level of skill. I think it's like, you know, in The Sims when they're like learning skills and then like get to the next stage and they can do more stuff. It's like that. I feel like I've gotten a hang of things and it looks absolutely fucking amazing. They are all static buildings, but I have invisible paths going through, so hopefully pedestrians are gonna be going through this little pavilion or whatever this is. And here as well, I've decided to pedestrianize this entire kind of like street, just all the way to here. This is the Brightwater Main Street. I got rid of the residential houses that were here and I used mixed-use buildings. And as you guys see, we've got trains. So train stations are here. We've got the Brightwater main train station. It's the elevated one. And I kind of like hid it by placing all these low density commercial assets underneath, just to kind of like, because it was just like too much open space, so I just wanted to like hide the open space. And yeah, this is how it's coming along. We've got like these parking lots and sort of like industrial spaces in the back. Industrial spaces, like paved spaces. It's gonna be covered in trash and dirt, so I'm not done detailing in here, but I just kind of wanted to jump in because I know that again, like I'm biting off a lot more than what I can chew. It's probably gonna be another big episode, and I just wanted to update you here because I wasn't sure exactly what I was gonna do kind of coming into it, and now that I have the vision forming, I wanted to come in and update you guys. But yeah, we will go back to the fast track now. Just a quick update on the network as well. So obviously I've deleted a bunch of streets. I decided to try to opt in for a less grid-like road layout. Obviously some things may still change. I'm trying to get rid of as many of these key walls that we've had, retainer walls. I have them in places. I was trying to be very strategic about where I use them, like here for example, and then I'm gonna have like a massive green space here in this little spot. Yeah, so it's happening. I'm discovering new ways of building. I'm using a lot of these static ploppables. Like here, for example, we had this little spot where there was like an awkward corner cliff, and I'm back. Sorry, the game has been crashing a lot. I've been using a lot of insane techniques to get shit done the way that I want it to be done. So we were here. I've used the static ploppables. You might have seen it. Probably you did see it on the recording. I just want to go over it again. I stacked two UK terrace houses, one on top of the other, and then it seems like the entrance is here, but because there's a cliff and I was able to hide that cliff, the cliff goes through the house, and then we've got a garden. So like it seems like a 2-story house on the front and a 3-story house on the back. Like, yes, the windows are a little bit clipped, but I thought like it looks nice, like it could be like a staircase or something, you know. We can be creative here, right? So yeah, I'm trying to avoid having spaces such as this one, but as I was building this particular block, I got the idea for stacking the buildings in this kind of way. So I might be doing that more often. I want to see how it goes with the other ones. So yeah, stay tuned. And then here for rows like this, I use the Northwestern pack rows, because I mean the red brick, I use them in their static ploppable version, because obviously like if I use them as a building, they would be flattening the terrain, which I don't want. But you could definitely have buildings like this in Britain. Like, they are like Georgian era buildings. I've lived in one of those, maybe like a bit taller one, but just for what I needed here, it works. A lot of times buildings like this also would have like a basement, so like you have like an entrance and then you have stairs on the side going down to the basement. I haven't seen a building like that. Maybe it's there, I just might have not seen it. But anyway, so here for these buildings on the back, they have these like very US typical fire escapes, which is like not the height of realism, but we take it and we go with it. So I made this little back parking lot that neighbors the train tracks here. And I just think that little corners like this really add a certain level of charm to the city. I really love it. I still have a bit of detailing to do, obviously, like I want to add trash cans and stuff. I was just like wild thrown into the fervor of building, figuring things out, you know, how am I actually going to do this. So yeah, like there's a bunch of things like build or halfway build, and then like ADHD makes me move to the next point, but it's all in good faith. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I'm really enjoying rebuilding Brightwater. I think it was a good call. I really do. Like, I think we are able to do something so much better with it. Like, no comparison. So I'm very happy with the progress. Let's take it away. intermittent Luna here. I did a boo-boo. And the boo-boo is I forgot to click record. So sorry. But I wanted to jump in here just to kind of let you guys know what I am doing right now. And I've done something kind of cool, if I do say so humbly myself. So I took these Northeast USA assets and I turned them into like these very typical British slash Irish tenement housing. I removed a couple of things, as you see here, like I changed the colors with the color, I removed all the ACs, and they had like this very US style thing at the end. So when I made the row, I kind of moved the row into the other home, removed their gardens, I made them all on my own, and I kind of covered up the ugly bits that I didn't like. Oh, you see, like the AC was here, and I removed it with the bulldozer tool, and I created these like very like tight, possibly slightly low income tenement rows. And this is very like you see this type of buildings all over Ireland and the UK. The original color it came was kind of like lime green. It was a bit ugly. Here I used gray, white and blue, and also I did like a red in a row over there. I still have a bunch of things to correct with these rows, so like don't get too attached to them. But yeah, I use these colors because like this type of building, it makes me think kind of like coastal towns. I'm pulling my inspiration here from Ireland, so if you want to have a look, there's, or maybe I will insert some pictures, who knows, I'm getting better at editing. I'm thinking towns such as Bray, Dunleary in Dublin, those type of houses. I'll put a picture here. And so here are the type of inspirational photos from Google Earth of the type of housing that I'm talking about. Obviously, this one that we've made is without the kind of iconic gardens. There are some that look like that, and the terraced kind of like garden Georgian houses, they're coming, so be patient, it's on the way. But this is the inspiration list for this type of building that I'm creating here. And yeah, like this is the kind of like color palettes that they come in, and I think that they work. I really like them. The only thing I would maybe change is I would maybe love if this asset had like a basement. So like you had the stairs kind of like going to like here, and then there will be like another staircase going downstairs, and there will be a basement. We have loads of houses like that in Ireland. Apparently, historically, the Brits lived upstairs, the Irish lived downstairs. Let that tell you something about colonialism, right? So yeah, we've got those houses, and I think they look really nice. I was kind of like missing a single unit row housing, and I'm very happy that I've discovered this one. Every time I learn something new. But yeah, I forgot to click record. I don't know how much I built. I know I did like a bunch of detailing. So I detailed graffitis and trash here, the little traffic lines and arrows, road arrows. Yeah, I widened this road. I don't know if I included that on the recording. I don't know how long it was before the last recording, so sorry. I added the bus lanes. I wanted to widen this road. I played around with the traffic tool, so all the traffic is optimized. All the traffic lights are on split phasing with exclusive pedestrian phase, and we've got our main shopping street kind of like here as well, and then I'm sort of building another row here. I'm thinking to have like a little green park area here, I just need to work how I'm going to position these sounds, because like you see, I'm not exactly happy here. You see how they have this like very telling part at the back that screams US. I'm gonna get rid of that. So yeah, I'll take it to the drawing room. Let's see what we come up with. and here I am, my friends. So I've been working through this, and there was a moment I had to take a couple of days break because it was my birthday. I was doing a lot of things. And yeah, we are here. This is the moment where we are at, but kind of taking the time off and coming back allowed me to sort of review the footage that we have for this video, and I went in over my head completely. So we started this episode with doing a lot of like road revamps all around here, and then obviously Brightwater revamp is underway. So the thing is, I have 24 hours of footage again. And I know better than to continue the episode. Even though I really like to complete things before I get the episode out, but it's just like with the level of detailing that I'm trying to put in here, because I got a feel for it and I'm loving it. I love the process. It's taking ages. So this is gonna be a two-parter. We're gonna do some before and after shots of what we've done so far, and we are gonna revisit in the next episode to complete. So stay tuned, my friends. Sorry for the two-parter. It's just, this is too much. And I kind of I don't know what I'm gonna come up with, so I want to keep recording, and if I come up with like a new detailing trick, because one thing was the laying down of the railway here. Then I did like this little pavilion walkthrough thingy here, and I really love it. And then another thing is like we did the pedestrian area here. Then we started placing all these sort of like American assets and passing them off as British. And yeah, and then like we did some rows of homes here with like the cliff detailing on the back, and then stacking the house one on top of the other. And then I put a ruin here, by the way. I kind of want to make a makeshift graveyard. I feel like every old British town, at least Irish towns, I don't know, I know more about Irish towns, they all need a ruin. And we did a little revamp here of the park. We did obviously a revamp of the roads. We introduced Main Street, and then we were wrapping up here, putting in these old Georgian homes and the little park in the middle. So yeah, I think we've done enough for today. We are gonna come back in episode 7, and we are gonna revisit it there. And for now, let's just do our before and after shots. And here we are. That was the before and after shots, and we are gonna say our farewells. Just to recap, so I edited the video and I realized that I've lost a bunch of footage. Obviously the little bit here when we started the Georgian housing thing that we started here, but also all of the footage when I was laying down the railway. I didn't even realize that I wasn't recording. I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry. I will try to be more attentive next time. I don't know if it's like an ADHD thing or it's just, I don't know, my mind is lame. I'm so sorry for losing this footage, but just to kind of like give you a very thorough look on the railway, like I started leading the rails kind of through here because this is the way I wanna I want to bring them over to Glenwood Green. I don't even remember what I call this town. Over here. I want to bring it here. And then I was kind of like deleting a bunch of houses and figuring out a way to make it work. And I'm gonna drag it through here. What I knew is that I want to have the railway go at the backs of this estate that we have over here. And then I wanted to mix up kind of like elevated ground like we see here. And then obviously quay walls, not to have too many quay walls again because it's not that realistic, but the more that we get into like city center or town center, the more it kind of picks up here. And obviously we have this elevated train station with the shops underneath, and I was sort of worried about how realistic it was at the beginning, but I think it's all right. I definitely seen a couple of train stations more or less like that before demolitions. Tara Station in Dublin had something quite similar going on. They had like a pub downstairs. Now they're like rebuilding stuff, but yeah, if you want to look it up, Tara Station Dublin. And yeah, this is one of my favorite things that I've created in this episode, this little pavilion. I absolutely love it. It was kind of interesting to get the props to start to work towards what I want. I definitely think it's a learning curve. I absolutely love what we did with the Georgian houses, the little gardens in front and stuff. Like, it's a lot of work. In episode 7 we will expand on this. And we will keep adding things. I don't know if I want to redo this street here with something similar. There are houses in city center Dublin that are sort of similar to this without kind of like these gardens like the Georgian houses would. I think these are Georgian too because it's like very similar architectural style, it's just a different way that they manage the gardens. They would have those basements, so I don't know, I might come back here and see if I can make this street look a little bit busier. I kind of want to add electricity lines as well, so we're gonna look at that in the next episode. I'm excited to work on the makeshift graveyard that we're gonna have here, so that's what we're gonna look in the next episode as well. Again, I was so short for time. Sorry guys for kind of doing it into a two-parter. I like to present you with a complete thing, but this was a lot. It was supposed to be a maintenance episode, and it ended up being like we're rebuilding everything. But this is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode, like, subscribe, drop me a comment down below. Introduce yourself, let me know that you're watching. If you want to catch me live, I'm live Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, some Fridays, Saturdays, sometimes Sundays, sometimes not. Stay tuned. But most of the time I'm live at 6 o'clock London time during the week, and one of the weekend days for sure. So I do play other games, but City Skylines ideally will be coming out every week on Monday, but if it's every 2 weeks, it's every 2 weeks. It's probably every 2 weeks is more realistic, to be honest. It's just because the level of details, like I always end up with 24 hours of footage. It's a lot. It's really, really a lot. Like, not only do I have to record for 24 hours, I have to take like 2 days just to cut out. This is gonna be over an hour, so yeah, I have to cut out footage, and I'm still sort of like learning things and figuring things out. So thanks for being patient with me, guys, and thank you so much for watching. And I'm gonna go now. So see you on the next one. Bye.